Hey, what's going on? I'm Steve Lane. I'm a vinyl-loving musician, and today we're going to talk about the best album ever recorded and why I'm sending it back. Coming up. I made a video a couple days ago about MoFi Gate, and I addressed the elephant in the room, and I did not address the walrus in the room. And it pissed some people off. And it makes a lot of sense why people are mad. How's it going? I'm Steve Lane. I am a rock and roll musician and a vinyl junkie. I believe that vinyl is the last pure form of audio on earth. And I also think that rock and roll is in my blood. I think I was born with it. Nothing I can do about it. I've accepted it. And I like to talk about vinyl. Now, in my last piece, we talked about MoFi Gate. And a lot of people said that I missed the point. And I knew about the point. I just didn't talk about the point that people feel ripped off. They lied. MoFi straight up lied about the analog process or lack thereof, and they use DSDs in the process. It's kind of a big deal, man. A lot of people have been canceling their pre-orders with their one-steps, and it makes sense. They feel betrayed. They feel let down. My personal opinion on it is, I think if they would have been transparent about it from the get-go and said, this is what we have, this is how we do things around here, I don't think they would have lost too many of their clients. I've been watching the 10.2 other million videos on the subject, and we can talk about dishonesty. We can talk about digital versus analog, doesn't really matter because they both sound great. I think most people in the community are going along with this one. They don't really care if it's digital or analog as much as they care about the fact that they were lied to. A lot of people buy digitally sourced albums. They're all one step, they sound great. They know that it's a digital recording, okay? They're not stupid, they're audiophiles. They have gigantic, expensive systems, and they have these pristine ears, and they can hear such wonderful things. But that's not the issue. The issue is trust. It has been broken by MoFi, and they may have lost a lot of clientele over this, and they have not issued any kind of an apology or a statement or anything declaring that they did something wrong. MoFi's got some cleanup work to do, and fast. If they don't act now, they might be completely gone. From what I understand, there's a lawsuit that's been filed, maybe a couple lawsuits. I mean, people don't want to spend an astronomical amount on a sound recording that they're lied to about. They need to be transparent with their process and neglected to do it since 2015, maybe even earlier. And it's a thing, it's a big thing. The community needs to send a message to MoFi that this is not okay. We are not okay with $125 albums, or Abraxas was what, 1,800 bucks? It was the best recording ever of an album, according to them. And I've seen people pay up to what, $3,800 for this Abraxas album. And I've seen audiophiles pull out their version of it, and they're like, dude, come on. That's a lot of money. And MoFi is screwing people over, and I get it. And I love MoFi. Like I said, I have a few, not a bunch. Most of them are on CD. I had a couple MoFi albums. I never had a one-step. I was thinking about it, but I want to up the ante on the equipment first before I go crazy on that. Scott Wilson with the Pressing Matters. He was talking about his Kevin Gray analog transfer of Abraxas is a lot better than the one-step, and he got a lot of people freaked out. I was like, what? How can you say that? He said that the one-step felt a little bit too hi-fi enhanced to him. Kevin Gray's version was a lot more warm or organic, and canceling all of his pre-orders. Steve Guttenberg, I mean, come on, the guy's way high up there. I love watching Steve Guttenberg's channel, and he kind of doesn't care. He kind of says, hey, if you bought these albums and you like the way they sound, deal with it. I want to talk about other stuff. That's Steve Guttenberg. I kind of feel the way he does, but at the same time, I get where the audiophile community is pissed. There's a guy with a channel called New Record Day. Digital versus analog is not it. According to him, it's about canceling his orders because of the dishonesty. And one of my favorite ones is the Vinyl Attack with Chris. He's awesome. I've been watching his stuff for a while. His point was he's canceling his pre-orders and they need to issue an apology. So that's it. I think it's time to move on. So with that, we're gonna talk about Kevin Gray remastering my favorite album, and according to Rolling Stone, the best album ever made, and I think they're right. Tell me what's going on. What a beautiful 50th anniversary reissue. This is not a review. Everyone knows this album. I will say that Kevin Gray did an outstanding job on this. He really did. This is the greatest album ever recorded. Did I say that? Yeah. Did I come up with that? No, Rolling Stone did. Rolling Stone says that this is the best album ever recorded. Now, on these lists, they've had a few of these lists over the years, okay? I remember at one time it was Sgt. Pepper was #1. And I remember at one time, The Clash, London Calling was #1. I mean, that's a great album, but the greatest album of all time? Their latest version of the top albums ever recorded, they gave this one the #1. I'm gonna agree with them. I think so. And I'm sending this one back. That's right. It's got a defect. Mercy, Mercy Me, one of the best songs on the album. Has these weird clicks going on. And it's a brand new album. I know how to clean vinyl. It's not a scratch. I mean, it's a defect in the recording. You can hear it in the recording. And there's another song on here, which is it's a demo. It's called Symphony, and it's really good. It says demo version, and I'll give them some leeway on that. I mean, if it's a demo recorded in the late 60s, early 70s, if not 1970 itself, you know, this album came out in 71. It's on the vocal, okay, it's a demo. I'll let that one pass. But Mercy, Mercy Me, no. No, I've had this album many times. This is the 50th anniversary edition. 2 records, very wonderfully done. This is not a review. Ooh, my hype sticker fell out. This is one of the best albums, if not the best album ever recorded. I grew up with this album. I know it. The order of this album. This is why, okay, I get it. You guys are 45 RPM audiophiles. You like the 45 RPM audiophile versions of classic albums like Rumors and What's Going On and countless others. I can't do that myself. There's no way. This album flows. This whole album flows. It is a masterpiece in composition. It is a masterpiece in songwriting. It was the most groundbreaking. I'm not going to talk about What's Going On. If you don't know about it, please look it up. It was a groundbreaking album. Barry Gordy, the founder of Motown, the president of Motown, says, no, you cannot release this album. It's too political. It's too controversial. Okay, and he did it anyway. He had to. He had to talk about what was going on in the world. One of my favorite songs on here goes, Save the Babies. Why do I love that so much? Because I was one of those babies he was singing about. I was a baby when this album came out, and he's singing about Save the Babies. The world is coming to an end. Basically, kind of, sort of. Oh my gosh, this album, I could go on and on and on. James Jamerson playing bass on the floor of the studio with one finger because he was so drunk he couldn't stand up. I mean, and it's one of the best bass lines ever. The whole album is some of the best bass recordings you'll ever hear in your life. Anyway, this album is phenomenal. Direct to analog mastering by Kevin Gray at Coherent Audio. I mean, Kevin Gray, come on, dude. The guy is a genius when it comes to all analog mastering. I grew up with this album. I mean, you know the order of the songs. You know how they go. It's got a complete separate album that has all the mono versions, and they sound completely different. It sounds really cool, actually. So side 3 is pretty cool. It's just a few different versions of What's Going On. Has another one called Symphony, which is the demo version that I have a problem with because the vocals sound like crap, but whatever. Side 4 has all the mono singles on it. I mean, it sounds great. Kevin Gray did a fantastic job mastering this album in all analog process. It's a really nice gatefold cover that comes out. Boom. And the inner sleeves have all the really cool, has lyrics, and a nice article is written by Andrew Flory. I mean, it's fantastic. And then I've got my other sleeve over here. I've got the album playing in the back behind me now. To bring some loving here today, yeah. All right, I'll admit it. I got this album at Walmart. I know, big box. I know, bad, very bad, especially Walmart. Oh, the worst. But I gotta tell you, it sounds great. And yeah, it was printed in Czechoslovakia. What are you gonna do? It sounds good. It's time for what are we working on right now? What are we working on right now? What are we working on right now? Right now, I, Steve Lane, have been working on composition. I've just finished the lyrics and the music to 2 really cool songs. A little bit of a departure from the rest of my album. A lot more acoustic based, a lot more of a rousing chorus, and the lyrics are very meaningful. Let's face it, the past 2 years have been, a little off, shall we say. I wrote some lyrics that really push my feelings and a sense of urgency to bring people together in unity. It's gonna be cool. It's gonna be a bit of a departure compared to the rest of the songs of the album. And Jay is gonna do a wonderful job on the production, as he always does. What are we working on right now? So, at the start of David Lynch's Dune, it says, "The beginning is a delicate time." And indeed it is. This is the delicate time for me. I'm just starting off this channel, so I would really appreciate a like, a subscribe, maybe even a comment, and I'll talk back to you. This is the time where the algorithms really need to see that I'm trying to do something new. And I'd appreciate your help if you want to be on this journey with me. Got an album coming out in a few months, and I want you to be a part of it. It's gonna be good, it's gonna sound great, it's gonna have a lot of audiophile qualities that I've been wanting in an album for a long time. Yes, it's going to be digitally recorded. Yes, that was my whole point about the MoFi Gate, is I'm glad that people can't tell, and I was insensitive about it. But I think I may have corrected my issue. Anyway, until next time, love you lots, be cool, and keep rocking.